Hey everybody, Kristen Brown here with KristenBrown.org. I want to tell you guys a story. A couple of nights ago, one of my clients texted me in the evening, and it's what I would call a spiritual or emotional 911. A lot of times we think that we can only have physical emergencies, but we can actually have spiritual and emotional emergencies, and this was one of those times. And I could tell by reading her text. She was saying something was really bad and she really needed to talk to me, and when is the soonest that we can get in. So we scheduled something really early on Sunday morning, because I will squeeze in emotional emergencies like this, because to me they're no different than if we had cut an artery and we are bleeding out. We have cut an emotional or spiritual artery and we are bleeding out, and we need to get that thing handled right away. So she told me her story through tons of tears and so much devastation and pain. And I empathize so greatly with her because I've been in that place so much. I just knew where she was at, and this is not a fun place. And we talked and we cried. And at some point I quietly in my head said to God, what do you want me to tell her? And I got my message. And the message was, it comes sometimes in my mind. It's like a word right here. It's got black background, white font inside my head. I could even see the font in my mind. If I knew the name of certain fonts, I could tell you what it was. And the word was discernment. And so after a while I said to her, I want to tell you, I asked God what I should deliver to you. And the word I got is discernment. And one would think in the middle of a situation like this with so much devastation and betrayal, why would I deliver such a word like that? Because I have long time since known I do not question God's messages. He knows his child best, not me. And when I get a message that I'm to deliver, I deliver that message. No matter if it seems left out of the... If God told me to say hot dog, I would have said hot dog. For some reason, she would have known what a hot dog meant. But that's not my point. My point is that I delivered this timely message to her, and she said, she got on her phone. I said, what are you doing? She says, I want to see the definition. So she Googled the definition, and I explained to her what that meant. It means being more choosy about who we let into our inner circle, and noticing pink and red flags along the way. And instead of being somebody that says, oh, come on, this was me too. I don't care what your problem is. I'll fix you. I'll help you. If no one likes you, I'll like you. I'll save you. I'll rescue you. I'm so great. I can help you. I'll be the best friend you ever had. And I had no discernment myself either. And I had one crappy thing happen after the other. So when I said to her discernment, I knew what that meant. And she just sat there and shook her head. I can see that. And we talked some more, and she would go, yes, I can see that. And at some point she said, I feel really good. So she walked in with devastation, and she walked out feeling really good, because sometimes when we are in a breakdown, it is an opportunity for a breakthrough. Because when we are reduced, when we are broken down to the lowest level that we can get, two things can happen. We either become a victim and we point and we blame, you everybody else's fault, poor me, oh, my life. Or we say, I'm going to change something about this. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to crack open. The breakdown can either keep us a victim or it can crack us open. And what happens when we're cracked open? The light enters. And what's light? It's truth. And one of the best things we can ever ask ourselves in a situation is, what is this teaching me? What am I supposed to be learning here? Because this is so devastating. And this has happened for a reason. This doesn't mean we ignore the pain. It doesn't mean we don't express our emotions in a healthy way. Doesn't mean we don't feel and we continue to talk about it. But when we learn from a situation, we grow from it. We learn our lesson. We heal, we evolve, and our life changes. I want to share with you a little bit about when this happened to me. And I mean, it's happened to me several times in my life, but this was the one most profound time. And that was when I was going through what I call my tsunami. Most of you know what that is. It was just a devastating time in my life. I write about it in my book, and it's all over my podcast episodes. I'll save you the story right now. But I was in mid-tsunami, and this was sometime in, I want to say, early spring, maybe late winter 2010. I don't have an exact date or time. All I know, I'm gonna keep the story short, is that I woke up in the middle of the night, or I couldn't sleep. It was the middle of the night. I went down my stairs, and all of a sudden, I had a really bad stomach ache. I thought I was going to, do you know what? That direction or this direction. I was going to throw up, or I was going to have something else happen, another blowout happen. And at the same time, I got extremely dizzy. And I couldn't walk because I was like, I'm going to pass out. I started to get like that blackout feeling, so I dropped to the floor and got on my hands and knees, and I was like, well, I can crawl to the bathroom. And I couldn't even make it to the bathroom. The tile hurt. It was on my knees. It was just the strangest thing. And I realize now, looking back, that I had probably what is a nervous breakdown, some type of breakdown. And I made it to another carpeted area, and I just laid there flat on my back. And I didn't know what was going to happen, whether I shit my pants on the carpet or threw up. I just knew that this was as good as it was going to get in this moment. I couldn't move. And my ears were ringing so incredibly loud that I started laughing in that moment, and I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear my own laughter. I knew I was laughing, but I couldn't hear it. And here's why I was laughing. I started laughing because of a couple reasons. One, just the comedy of the situation. It's 3:00 in the morning. I'm downstairs on the ground. I might shit my pants. My kids are upstairs fast asleep. The whole world is asleep. Nobody even knows what I'm going through or dealing with right now. That was part of it. But another part of it is that I hit bottom. And I was glad. Because I knew there was no place else I could go but up. The fall to bottom is what's the hard part. It's not actually hitting bottom. For me anyway. And I liken it to kind of falling in a chasm, a rock chasm, and bouncing off the walls while you're going down and getting cut and scraped and breaking things and breaking your finger and getting, bushes sticking out from the side, and then you hit. And it all stops. And in that moment, there's relief. Because you can only go up from here. And in that moment, that exact moment, I let God re-enter my life. And not that I had pushed God out. I always believed in God, higher power, superpower of the universe, always, always. But I had forgot. I was trying to control, manipulate, and think my way through this situation. Instead of letting God help me, I was like, oh my God, there's God. I forgot about God. There's God. There's the superpower of the universe that can help me. What am I doing? And from that moment on, I decided that I was going to have God walk beside me in this journey, because I know God knew everything and I already knew how to fix this, because there's no problem that God doesn't know the solution to. And I started to talk to God every single day, all day long, like a companion in my front seat. And I started to meditate so that I could quiet myself, my mind, and that I could hear my messages. And guess what? It only went up from there. And much like my client who says, I feel really good, something shifted in me that night, laying there on the ground in the carpet, feeling like I was going to die, because emotional 9-1s 911s feel like we're going to die. We don't know why. It just feels so terrible. But I did. I went up from there. It only got better. I couldn't tell you how long it took. The whole thing was a blur, but I know each day was an improvement. And I healed, and I grew, and I evolved. So the point of this video for you guys today is to understand that if you're in a breakdown, any sort of breakdown, it doesn't even have to be as devastating as mine or as my clients that I explained. Just any sort of breakdown, please know that your breakdown is a setup for a breakthrough. Because sometimes we have to be reduced to let the light in, to let the truth in, to let God, source, universe, angels, the force into our life so that we can heal and grow and evolve as spiritual beings, and we can rise up and break those patterns and break that conditioning and stop repeating our patterns. Any situation that we heal from, that we evolve from, turns into wisdom. And we grow. And we heal. I'm hoping that this video is inspiring you to know that if you have been broken down and you're tempted to go into the victim trap, please go into the God trap. You got a choice, this way or this way. One way or the other. And I hope you choose the path of your higher self and your spirit and just know, yes, this sucks. Yes, it's awful. It's terrible. Nobody should go through what you're going through. I hate it for you. I hated it for me. I hate it for anybody. I hate it in fictional TV when I watch it. Right. But I also know something else. I also know that we're going to grow and that we can come out of this bigger, better, stronger, faster, more knowledgeable, more beautiful, more whole, more complete, more healed. And we're going to leave behind that crap from the past because a better, awesome life is waiting for us. So your breakdown is only a setup for a breakthrough, should you choose that mission. Thank you for listening, everybody. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so that you receive notifications when I upload new videos. And also hit that like button because that helps other people find these videos as well. Okay, you guys, so much love to you. Please leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. I always comment back to everybody. All right, much love. Peace.